For as long as I can remember, I've always had a notebook by my side. Some I managed to fill every page, many others were left unfinished or barely scratched the surface. At one point, it was almost an obsession, hoarding notebooks, drawn to something about the way they felt, the way they look, just the aesthetic almost, the promise of also what could be written inside. Over the years, these pages have caught my thoughts, my ideas, my plans, and my ever-changing routines. Not because I needed another tool, but because paper keeps me focused in ways no screen ever could. Through the years, I've given many digital tools a fair effort, trying to weave them into my routine. Some stuck for a while, but most just scattered my attention. With paper, on the other hand, there are no alerts or endless menus, just a quiet space for my thoughts to land. Yes, writing by hand slows me down, but in the best way possible. It makes me more deliberate with what I choose to capture. Every page feels like a small commitment, something I can hold on to, return to, and trust to stay exactly where I left it. That's why my bullet journal has become the anchor in my routine, a simple system I can always return to. My bullet journal is far from perfect. Some pages are neat, others are messy. There are months where I keep up with every sped, and others where I skip entire weeks, actually. But the beauty is, it doesn't punish me for that. It's systematic enough that I can step back in at any time, whether it's in the middle of the week, halfway through the month, or even after missing a season entirely. The structure I developed over the past few years is simple. A yearly overview for the big picture, monthly pages for priorities, and weekly spreads for the day-to-day. That's all I really need to feel anchored without feeling trapped, to be honest. I've also become more intentional with my note-taking as well. Only recently have I started logging my gym workouts. At first it felt unnecessary. I thought I could remember what I did last time, but putting it on paper gives me a clearer picture of my progress. It's not just numbers necessarily, it's a map of my fitness journey. I can see where I've improved, where I've stalled, and what needs more attention in most places. I've also kept a commonplace book for a while now, a place for thoughts, quotes, and little musings and observations from daily life. It's where I store ideas worth revisiting, moments that might otherwise fade. Over time, it's become a quiet record of how I think and what I value. And just like my notes, my calendar and trackers help me see not just what I'm doing, but how I'm living overall. Even if I don't update it as often as I should, that simple overview gives me a sense of how things will roll out. The busy weeks, the quieter ones, and where I might have to create space in certain days. Habit tracking also is where I tend to gamify my life. Each mark in a box is like a point scored. It's a small reward, but over time those marks add up. They show me streaks worth keeping and gaps worth filling. It's progress I can actually see. And within my bullet journal, that big picture view becomes something more personal. Each month I focus on a handful of habits, usually around 6 to 8, that I just really want to improve on. I draw a simple grid for each one. Some months a habit might barely get touched, others I'll completely fill the boxes. What matters most isn't perfection, it's knowing where my headspace is for that month. The tracker shows me in plain view where my energy is going. And of course, I just love gamifying this process. Each filled box feels like leveling up almost, a quiet way to measure progress without the unnecessary pressure that comes with it. It's not necessarily about chasing streaks, it's just about building that momentum to keep going with. And I would have to say that's what keeps me coming back to analog, the consistency it builds over time. All of what I went over, the notebooks, the calendars, the trackers, it only works if I keep showing up, to be honest. Consistency is a real key here. Even the most beautiful system can't help if it's left untouched. Organization makes the process smoother, but the real progress comes from keeping up at it day after day, month after month. That's truly where the growth happens. So for me, analog is more than just a way to stay organized. It's a way to stay connected to my goals, my routines, and myself. It's a choice to slow down, to be present, and to build something I can see and feel. And in the end, that's honestly worth every page.